foreign films of the year and an intriguing mini-series that looks at one of the significant pop culture events of the 20th century are available for viewing this week. Here to review Parallel Mothers and Pam and Tommy is film critic Chuck Koplinski. Hey, Chuck, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I hope you're safe and warm and all that good stuff.
Yep, I am, and I'm going to have an option for everyone to watch from the safety of their homes, and then one you can get out and watch when roads are clear and everything's open up this weekend, hopefully.
Well, which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with Parallel Mothers. Parallel Mothers is playing at the AMC 13, and it's from Pedro Almodovar, one of our great filmmakers, the Spanish filmmaker. And this is one of his best films. And there you see Penelope Cruz, one of his stalwarts. They've made 7, 8 movies together. She stars as a woman named Janice. She is a photographer. She's in her 40s. And lo and behold, wasn't part of her plan, but she ends up pregnant at this late age. And when she's in the hospital getting ready to deliver, she meets a teenager by the name of Anna, played by Milena Smith, very striking young lady. She is too about to have a baby. And they end up both having daughters at the same time, thus the title Parallel Mothers. They decide that they will stay in contact after they leave the hospital because they each know that they can help each other, and things, of course, then unfold from there. They have no idea, though, that something is going to happen and something has happened that is going to tie them together for the rest of their lives. Meanwhile, there's also a subplot going on with the village where Janice has grown up. There's a mass grave outside the village that she and other villagers there are hoping to get excavated, as they think that it contains family members of theirs from generations ago who were brutally killed during the fascist regime that they want to have exhumed and give proper burial to. This all seems like heavy stuff, and it is, but Almodovar always has that light touch. He puts in these soap opera elements, and yet he somehow makes them real. This movie runs over 2 hours, but there's always something interesting going on. There are 2 big plot twists here. One of them I actually gasped out loud at. I didn't see it coming, and it changed the entire perspective of everything that's going on in this movie. Penelope Cruz is good, always good, never better than she is here. And as I say, this is a very much an intriguing drama that will always keep you guessing. It's not like an American film. And I really, encourage people to go out and try something new. Try this. This is a great entryway into these Spanish films. And you'll also be ahead of the curve because Oscar nominations are coming out on Tuesday, and it's a very good bet. This is going to be nominated for Best Foreign Film. So wow. Parallel Mothers, get out, go to the AMC 13, check this out. You will not be disappointed.
Okay, this next one, called Pam and Tommy, is it the Pam and Tommy that I'm thinking of? And if so, can we be talking about this?
Yes, we are, but we're going to have to tread very carefully. Okay. Very carefully. Pam and Tommy is an 8-part series that premiered on Hulu this past week. The first 3 episodes are up there. And yes, it has to do with Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson and the infamous tape that was then dispersed through the then new technology known as the internet. This is a fascinating story because it delves into just how that tape was stolen, why it was stolen, and all the efforts that were made to get it distributed, and then, of course, the efforts by Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee to stop its distribution. You have Sebastian Stan from the Marvel films and Lily James. Look up a picture of Lily James, English actress. She looks very little like Pamela Anderson, but here she is a dead ringer, and it delves into their relationship, the wild times they had together, and how their relationship came together. But the more interesting part of this has to do with the Seth Rogen character, guy by the name of Dane Guntner. He was a contractor that worked for Tommy Lee who wasn't paid by the rocker, and in revenge, stole a safe from him. He had no idea the sex tape was in there. Once he got it, he knew he had stumbled upon gold. This is not for the faint of heart. Excuse me. If you are bothered by explicit language or explicit sex, do not watch this show. I'm telling you right now. However, it's all done with a great deal of humor. And what's interesting is that it really takes a look at this from the perspective of Pamela Anderson and shows how this affected her career in a very poor way and how she really was much more the victim here than Tommy Lee. He, of course, came out shining much better than she did because of this situation and really is an interesting look back on this with a better perspective that we have now as far as how she was victimized and really ends up not being the person you think that she is. She ends up being much stronger here, and we get a better picture of who she was and how she tried to deal with this. This is on Hulu. Like I say, not for the faint of heart.
Doesn't sound like it.
But for the adventurous, it's really interesting.
All right. For more reviews and witty banter from Chuck and Pam, you can check out the Real Talk with Chuck and Pam YouTube channel. They've got all sorts of stuff there. You can go to their website, get links to their weekly podcast as well. There's a look at the Facebook page, and we'll connect you on our website as well, CILiving.tv.